flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Trish.
Mrs. Brew?
Here.
Mr. Cooper?
Here.
Mr. Menechini?
Here.
Mr. Marraro?
Here.
Mr. Pop?
Here.
We'll move on to the approval of the agenda. There will be a change on the agenda. You want to go ahead and put that on there, Ray?
Yes, item 7, I sent that out to you right before the meeting. It's a COVID-19 preparedness and response plan, as requested by the governor.
Okay. With that added on, do I have approval of the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with the addition.
Do I have a
Second.
support?
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menechini?
Yes.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes. We'll move on to the approval of the minutes of, you want me to take these separately or together?
I think we got to take them separately. That's what we've done in the past.
I think
Let's take them separately in case there's an issue with any one of them.
Okay. To the approval of the regular meeting of May 4th, 2020. Is there any question?
I make a motion we approve regular meeting of May 4th, 2020.
Support.
Mr. Menechini?
Yes.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Special meeting of May 7th, 2020.
I make a motion we approve regular meeting or special meeting of May 7th, 2020.
Support.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menechini?
Yes.
Special meeting of May 12th, 2020.
I make a motion we approve a special meeting of May 12th, 2020.
Support.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menechini?
Yes.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Special meeting of May 14th, 2020.
I make a motion we approve special meeting of May 14th, 2020.
Support.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menechini?
Yes.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Move on to the approval of manifest 2020-10 in the amount of $216,066.13. Scott, do you have any questions?
I got a question for Ray. Ray, I've seen a lot of our departments having the masks, the face mask now.
Yeah.
We had ordered them. You said you had a meeting today. All of our crews, when they go into houses or stores or anything like that, are they wearing them?
They're supposed to wear them.
Okay.
That is the directive.
Now that's going to continue even after this Friday, right? That the governor had
Yes.
opened up things. They still have to wear them.
Yes, that is the directive.
Okay. Now, this kind of off subject too. On that meeting this morning, how about testing for the guys when they come in?
We don't have testing. What we do is we have a survey. So if you go into somebody else's building, there's a 5-6 question survey that you're supposed to take. And, when they come in, like they come into our facility here at City Hall, they're supposed to wear their mask. If we go down to the DPW shop or if we go to their facility, we're supposed to wear masks.
Okay. That's all I've got for tonight. I have no questions on the manifest.
Brett?
I have none.
Yeah.
Yeah, page one, under admin, financial, legal, operating. Last three items, computer expense, Ray. Again, I may have asked this before, but I'm just trying to get my head wrapped around how we're paying $1,113.32 monthly support maintenance contract for North Star. North
Yeah.
Star monthly support.
Yes.
We're paying $13,000 a year for a support contract.
Well, that
What are they
includes a
doing?
whole number. I think there's a whole number of it's broken down in a number of different ways to get to the $1,100. Mary's on. Mary, do you have anything that you could add to that?
I'll have to look at the bill, Ray. They've got it broke down on that bill, and there's like so much per user. I don't have it in front of me.
We'll have to show you the breakdown rather than try to explain it here.
That's fine. That'd be great.
Now we run our billing through and everything, the North Star system.
Yeah, North Star's the billing software, but there's a number of items on that bill.
I'd just like to understand it better.
Okay.
2 items below that, Presidio Network Solutions Nimble Storage Support Renewal, $4,339.77.
Yeah, that I believe, and actually Chris is on too if he could help explain this, but that's our storage, and I believe this is the last time we're going to have to pay that. We're going
Storage for what?
That's the, I can explain it.
Okay.
So the Nimble device is the storage unit for all the servers in the city. So that we pay a annual support fee on that for hardware support and software support. This was the last renewal of that, so we did it for, it's a little over a year, so it's a year and like 8 months. At the end of that support contract, the unit goes end of life, and we'll have to look at replacing it at that point. So that's why it's a little bit more than what it normally would be for renewal.
You're talking RAID type backup system. What are we talking here, Chris?
It's not a backup. It's the actual storage. So if you think of it as the hard drive in your
I trust me, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
$4,400 for storage.
Yeah, for the support.
Christ, I get 15 gigs a year. I get 15 gigs free on Google.
This isn't cloud storage. This is local. This is the local hardware device support. Okay. That device when we bought it new was probably $45,000.
How many gigs do we? How many terabytes do we need in that storage device? How much data are we actually storing as a city?
That device is 8 terabytes, I believe.
8 terabytes.
Yes, and that's a flash storage, so it's running SSD storage and SAS drive, so it's a mixed use storage.
We need that kind of speed, recovery speed for data.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, we do.
Sure. Yeah, because it's actually booting the servers. There aren't any hard drives in the physical servers.
I understand. Yep.
Everything is running off that storage unit. So you have almost 9 servers that access that storage at the same time.
Okay, and this thing's going end of life, so I'm sure the next one will be even more expensive every month.
We're gonna try to squeeze another year after the end of life.
Okay.
Into that unit before we go to the next one.
Thank you. Page 3, bottom, new vehicles, emergency services vehicle. That's the vehicle that we're looking at tonight, Ray, the $10,000.
That is
the rescue vehicle.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that it, Jeff?
I believe so, Madam Mayor. Yep, I'm good.
All right, Lee?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what this is, Ray, and I totally disagree with it. But the annual signal maintenance for the railroad, I'm assuming Grand Trunk Western, $1,200. We gotta fix. What's the deal on that?
We're required to pay for the signal being on the road for the railroad. When they put a signal across our road, whatever the road agency is required to pay for the signal maintenance.
I just don't understand some of this stuff. Okay, where are we here? Just to make sure, I'm pretty sure we're doing it on the health insurance for communications. Is that the whole amount, or isn't like a certain percentage of that billed to electrical because of Ralph?
Are you looking at the second item there on cable?
Yeah, 1824, man.
Yep, that is 100% of Jim and 50% of Ralph.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought it was, but I wanted to make sure. And
Yep.
then just one other comment here, so a lot of people don't know. Our most expensive channel is Fox Sports. And they carry the Lion game and Tiger games. That's a waste of money. That's all I have.
That just got you a lot of votes.
I have no questions. We'll move on to the approval of the manifest.
You know how much I love spending money, Madam Mayor.
I'll make a motion. We approve the manifest for $216,066.13.
Support.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mr. Menegini,
Yes.
Mr. Marraro,
Yes.
Mr. Pop,
Yes.
Mrs. Brew.
Yes. Anyone wishing to address the council on an agenda item only shall do so by using the question and answer feature or raise your hand feature in Zoom. Telephone only attendees will be unmuted and given an opportunity to make their comments. State your name and address for the record. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per person. Do we have anybody in the audience?
You have 3 attendees. I am allowing them to talk now. If they want to ask a question, they'll need to unmute themselves.
Okay. If anybody has any questions.
I don't see anything coming through.
Okay.
Mike Martin just unmuted.
Oh, Mike, yeah, Mike.
No, I don't have anything. I just unmuted.
Okay.
Welcome, Mike.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to communications, COVID-19 resolution. Mr. Anderson.
Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor. The governor had a press conference today, and during that press conference, actually within the first sentence or two of the conference, she made it clear that it was a requirement that businesses shall have a preparedness and response plan approved by or approved. And actually, we had this plan put together late last week because we knew we were going to be moving forward this week. And so I bringing it to council to get council approval of the plan. And you go through the plan, it does talk about a lot of those things that were brought up early on about the masks, about sanitation. Some of the things we were already performing, but again, it continues to memorialize our work processes for moving forward as more of the businesses get opened up and there's less government
interference.
No, I wasn't going to use that word, but you know, we're really responsible for protecting ourselves, and as an employer, we're responsible for protecting our employees. And so this plan puts together those concepts to protect our employees.
Are there any questions? If not, do I have a motion? Do I have a motion?
You see, all of us are backing our wonderful governor with all this COVID preparedness stuff, can't you? I'm not motioning.
Now, here's a question. Is that included for our city meeting?
That would be included for any operations for the city, yes.
Okay. Well, I just don't know, just speaking back about, this is off subject a little bit, but speaking back before the meeting started here about how we can hear things and everything else like that, with our audio system, it's not that I'm not worried, I'm worried about being by everyone, but with our audio system in there, and if we have our masks on, are they going to be able to hear us through our masks if we do that?
Probably not.
That is a technical question that I probably can't answer at this point.
Yeah. Well, that's just off subject.
Yeah.
Are we still able to do it over the computer?
Until they rescind the executive order allowing for electronic meetings, we are still able to do this over the computer.
I will not be wearing a mask in any council chamber anytime ever. So there you have it.
Is that how you feel?
You are a rebel.
No,
All right.
it's-
All right, rebels. Do I have a motion or no?
Just so you know, this is pretty much the same plan the county just approved last week. So this isn't something that
I don't care.
I know you don't care, but this is just something that we've we need to protect our employees. This is a safety issue, and
Yeah.
we're protecting our employees from contracting COVID. So
what is this
'cause
item?
it's running rampant up here. It's crazy. Crazy.
What is this item?
excuse me,
What is this item number? I make a motion we approve this item.
it's number
Whatever.
7. This is-
Number 7?
Yeah.
I make a motion we approve number 7.
I'll support it.
Mr. Menegini,
Yes.
Mr. Marraro,
Yes.
Mr. Pop,
Yes.
Mrs. Brew,
Yes.
Mr. Kramer.
Yes.
We'll move on to resolution 2020-06, wastewater sludge disposal in Wisconsin.
Okay, this is something we've done for a number of years now. When we have farmers that take our sewer sludge, our wastewater sludge, and they apply it to the farm fields. When we have a Wisconsin farmer, we need to, per the Wisconsin rules, pass a resolution approving such. And we've, like I said, we've passed this resolution a number of years now. So this is pretty much housekeeping.
Yeah, this is nothing new.
No. Ray, how many years have we been dumping over in Wisconsin now? Do you don't remember?
Oh gosh,
It's been a while.
probably at least 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I make a motion resolution 2020-06 be approved.
Second.
Ray, one question. What's the cost to this?
What's the cost?
Yes.
We don't, it doesn't, other than our employees, actually, trucking, we go over, we actually bring our truck over to, right across the bridge. That's about, it's just, doesn't have an actual dollar cost. This time.
We're not paying. Yeah, we're not paying to dispose of it in Wisconsin.
No, we are not paying anything to dispose of it, but we do, because it's so close, we load it with our loader. And we have to work with some of the farmers because they don't have the loaders, and we really don't want them on our property loading anyway. So in this case, we truck it. Depending on how far, depending on who it is, we would have them get their own trucks, but we still would load it.
We have a motion on the floor.
Mr. Marraro,
Yes.
Mr. Pop,
Yes.
Mrs. Brew,
Yes.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mr. Menegini.
Yes.
Move on to resolution 2020-07, National Peace Officers Week.
Okay, Madam Mayor, if you'd like, I could actually take these next three and kind of explain them, and then you guys could move on them separately. If that's okay?
Yeah, go right
Okay.
ahead.
So we have three resolutions for you tonight. We have National Peace Officers Week, National Department of Public Works Week, and National Drinking Water Week. This all happens in May, and I think basically with a lot that's gone on in the last month, last 30 to 45 days, kind of got a little bit away from us a little bit, but National Peace Officers Week is May 11th through 15th, which is actually last week. The Drinking Water Week is typically the first week of May. And then, of course, next week is the DPW week. And so what we did was we decided, let's go ahead and resolute all three of these, recognizing our public employees, the police officers. In fact, May 15th is the actual Peace Officer Day, something that normally we would participate in. They have it at different locations in the UP. We've hosted it at least once, probably twice since I've been here. But this year it was canceled because of COVID, so that was a shame. But again, and Drinking Water Week, I think, is important just to point out, especially the high quality of our water system. We like to point that out. So we have Resolution 2020-7, which is National Peace Officers Week, which was last week, but it's May 11th through 15th. Resolution 2020-08 is National Department of Public Works Week, and that is May 18th through 22nd. That's this week. And then first to the last is 2020-09, which is Drinking Water Week, and that was the May 3rd through May 9th. We'll recognize those weeks and our employees that make that all happen for us.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
What happens when we get to our 53rd group that needs its own special week?
There's more than that, probably.
It's
They just
a joke.
duplicate weeks.
Yeah, I guess so. We got to double them up, right? We got to start stacking.
That's right.
Do we have any other questions, or I'm going to move on to making motions?
I make a motion that resolution 2020-07 National Peace Officer Week be approved.
Support.
Mr. Pop,
Yes.
Mrs. Brew,
Yes.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mr. Menegini,
Yes.
Mr. Marraro.
Yes.
Move on to Resolution 2020-08 National Department of Public Works Week.
I propose that we approve Resolution 2020-08 Public Works Week.
Support.
Mrs. Brew,
Yes.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mr. Menegini,
Yes.
Mr. Marraro,
Yes.
Mr. Pop.
Yes.
Move on to Resolution 2020-09 National Drinking Water Week.
I make a motion 2020-09 National Drinking Water Week be approved.
Support.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mr. Menegini,
Yes.
Mr. Marraro,
Yes.
Mr. Pop.
Yes.
This is approved.
Yes. We'll move on to approval Strawberry Lake Park Project.
Hey, thank you, Madam Mayor. As part of our, we're finishing up our Strawberry Lake project. The majority of the project is complete. A couple of local share items that we have to finish off the project is that we did commit to purchasing a couple tables and a bench that are recycled plastic, and also we still have the bleachers that are going to be constructed this summer. Been held up obviously because of the COVID situation, but that's something that we're going to work on over the course of the summer. But before you tonight is council approval for 2 picnic tables and a bench. We gave you the pricing that we received, and there's actually that Pentura Do More model for $5,355. was the recommended brand for, I think, for our park. I can entertain any questions. It's not- oh, go ahead.
I read this as 5 benches and 2 picnic tables.
Was
You
there
run
5
it
benches
across.
there?
Well,
Like
if
the
it's
benches
one
are
bench and 2
$541
picnic
each,
tables,
and the table's $1,300. Look under Ventura Dumont. Or am I wrong on that? But I mean, it stops item 1 and item 2, that's all, and then it says each 5 and 2. See what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, you are correct. It's 5 and 2. I'm sorry.
Okay,
It's 5 and 2.
yeah, I can
5
just hear the
benches.
squealing if it was just a 2 and it was for $5,000. That's roughly about $1,375 our share.
Yeah, that's 5 benches and 2 tables. I'm sorry.
No problem.
How come so expensive for picnic tables?
All recycled, it has to be.
ADA and recycled. That's
we can't, just a question, we couldn't build some wood picnic tables and put them out there?
no. You know, when we put in for these grants, there's a couple of areas that you get really high marks for, you know, for grant points, and recycled plastic or recycled materials is one of them. So you can get away with a little less on the percentage of match by putting in some of the recycled options.
Understood. Just a point I'm making is that isn't government wonderful? What's wrong with wood?
Do we have
Luke, anything?
any
My
other
bad.
questions? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that Ventura Durmar Park picnic tables and benches be purchased for the Strawberry Lake Park for a price not to exceed $5,355.
Support.
Mr. Meneghetti?
Yes.
Mr. Ferraro?
Yeah.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Move on to City Hall HVAC, mechanical preventive maintenance.
So we've had a preventive maintenance agreement going back to 2011 with Best Heating and Mr. Dave Paul. Over the last couple of years, he's transitioned and is now working with Energy Controls. He kept working on our maintenance, preventative maintenance, and I did tell him that we needed to have an agreement. We didn't have one with Energy Controls, and so I asked them to put together a proposal. And then when we were looking at getting alternate quotes for this particular effort, one of the areas that we noticed was that they have our control system, and that we're actually in a better position if we were to keep the mechanical and the controls together. So I'm asking for council's consideration to move forward with this proposal, and he's done an excellent job for us in the preventative maintenance area. A lot of experience with the commercial area, and so his particular quote is for $2,382 a year.
Did we get any other pricing?
No, as I said, I didn't get other pricing because, for one thing, when I went out to look, there's a very few commercial, large commercial type contractors. The second is because if you bring in a maintenance, a different maintenance contractor, that there's a close tie between controls and mechanical. And so what happens is he comes in and works on it. He actually works on both sides. So we are getting a maintenance professional for both controls and mechanical on this. So it's my recommendation that we go with Energy Control because of that tie.
Ray, is Energy Control, is that the company that, excuse me, at the company that redid our controls here a couple years ago?
Yes.
And they weren't the first ones that did it, like originally?
No, they weren't the originals. No.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure. Okay.
Yeah. No, they came in and we've worked very closely with Energy Control. We had a bidding process for that, and they were the preferred bid when we did that.
Any other questions or comments? If not, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion that Energy Control be approved to provide annual high-vac mechanical maintenance at the City Hall for a price not to exceed $2,382.
Support.
Mr. Morado?
Yes.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Move on to the fire department equipment purchase request, rescue equipment truck.
Okay, on this particular item, I was contacted by Chief Ball regarding the opportunity that they had for buying a used equipment, rescue equipment truck, and the cost for the truck was $10,000. $15 was actually the titling fee. So we did ask our mechanic to take a look at it, and he said that there's a very good value for that $10,000, and it's something that was requested by the volunteers. The other part of that is that the volunteers are going to contribute 100% back to the city out of the volunteer fund to pay for it. So they feel very strongly in having this piece of equipment.
That's very, very good news. We have a great volunteer fire department. Technically, they do get some consideration, but what's the worth of a firefighter when he goes into a burning house to try to save someone? And looking at that piece of equipment, it's nice, especially for the price. And like our ladder truck that we got for practically nothing, I hope we never have to use it.
Grant, does this open us up to any additional liability anywhere that we should be concerned about?
For purchasing
Is this like a
truck?
A different service? Is this? No, the services that go along with the use of the truck as a dedicated emergency vehicle, right?
I guess I'm not familiar with what the uses would be for this vehicle. It's purchased by the fire department. It would be through them and through their use. But I guess I'm not familiar, prepared to provide a opinion as to whether or not it increase. If you're adding more services, you're adding more issues. But at the same time, as an insurance guy, that there's insurance coverage for that. And I hope that, and I'm assuming that we're addressing that. But I don't know what the services are for this truck.
I am assuming it's the same services that we do, because sometimes the fire department gets called out on an accident or if something happens to somebody. So to me, I'm not 100% sure, but 99. We already are doing this. This is a truck, so at least we have all the equipment on there instead of running around wherever the accident is or something happens to somebody looking for equipment. This truck would be carrying the equipment there, maybe to save somebody's life or whatever.
Okay.
That's my Mayor,
that's what I was looking to hear.
Yeah, that's my understanding too, is that it's not adding any different service. It's just something that they can use to consolidate the equipment they have, because it gets piecemealed out, and that it's going to hold the equipment they have.
Excellent.
And again, Mr. Moraro and Ms. Brew, Madam Mayor, echoing that, as long as it's during the course of their duties and working within the confines of their responsibilities, I think it would be under their existing insurance coverages. And to echo that, I think it would make some sense just to follow up or make a recommendation of follow up and make sure that if they need another rider or more specific for this vehicle, it might be appropriate. But I'd echo both Mayor Brew's comments, Mr. Anderson's comments. Looking at the vehicle, it looks like it's a supplement and an extra tool for the department to have. But good question, Mr. Morrow.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the fire department equipment purchase request for the amount of $10,015 and 100% contributing by the volunteer fire department.
Support.
Mr. Pop,
Yes.
Mrs. Brew,
Yes.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mr. Menegini,
Yes.
Mr. Marraro.
Yes.
Move on to Water Department, AMP Water Service GIS survey.
Okay, so over the last couple of years, we've been working on an asset management program for our water department. It is a requirement through our through the Eagle or DEQ, and we've been satisfying all of our requirements to date. One of the final areas is the actual physical locations of our curb stops or water valves, and do that, the consultant would go out and actually take a survey so that we have those all in our system. And so I did get a price from GEI to do that for $15,350. Also, Coleman Engineering gave me a price, but GEI's is the lower responsive pricing for it.
Did we have this budgeted, Ray?
This has been budgeted. It's actually going to be budgeted between this year and next year. They'll start between now and July 1st, but they won't be able to complete it until after July 1st. So we'll have these numbers in our 2021 budget.
Yeah. What concerns me though, I mean, there's such a smaller amount, 20,000 for the other bid versus 15. I gotta wonder if they're talking apples to apples or apples to oranges. Like, it almost seems like on all these bids, like the last one there for 16th Avenue, there was a tremendous amount of difference. And I don't understand it. You would think they would be a lot closer. Wondering, are they doing what they're supposed to be doing? You know where I'm coming from?
I can't speak I can't speak for how they come up with their dollar figures, but when I speak to them about the scope, I mean, the scope is apples and apples. I can tell you that also, you know, GEI has been working on the water AMP plan for the last 2+ years. And that's a tremendous benefit for a contractor. Or, you know, that there's some efficiencies, and I know from experience. I mean, it's hard to come in and unseat sometimes. You know, a competitor that has some experience.
Well, I can understand that. They're both good firms. There's no question about that.
Is this bid number at budget, Ray? Above budget, below budget?
Well, it's at budget.
Do I have a motion?
If
I
I
make
may,
a motion that GEI's, go ahead, Grant.
I'm sorry, Councilman Pop. On this contract, just bringing up some of we have these recurring issues. The only time I speak about some of these contracts is about making sure to get some of the corrections or some of the changes. Ray and I have worked with GEI in the past. I look back, we have 2 different contracts we've worked with them on not so long ago. And there's a few small changes that we have to have that I would highly, highly recommend we have stricken. And they have stricken in the past, but that are in this contract. So just for consistency's sake, they have a limitation of liability. We've talked about that in the past, and it matches up usually with the insurance. They have a provision in the contract that indicates their liability is limited to the amount and the scope of this project. And we've talked about that in the past. Council's indicated they're comfortable. You guys are comfortable with reflection of the insurance, but as it sits now in paragraph 8B and 8C, there are limitations. So I'd ask that be stricken or allow Ray and I to correct that or work with GEI, which we have in the past as well. And also there's language regarding paragraph 10, ownership of the documents. Of course, and it perhaps goes without saying to some degree, but we would want to have ownership of these documents once they are done and we have the project. Again, we've made these changes before with GEI and other of the contractors we usually work with. So I just ask that the council approve the contract with the ability for Mr. Anderson and I to address paragraphs 8 and 10 and any additional paragraphs that we need to have addressed in the city's best interest.
Mr. Carlson, we are not we are not going to let them off the, if, in the case of professional services engineering, we're not talking about letting any of said contractors off of E&O, right? Errors and omissions.
I'm sorry, sir. Say again.
For
I
instance,
didn't hear the last.
Errors and errors and omissions. For instance, guys, if we hire a professional firm such as GEI to spec something out, that we obviously build a plant, build infrastructure based off of their professional services contract. I understand. Which, if I hear you right, Grant, you're saying we've given some leeway on some of those things in the past. I just want to make sure we're not giving any leeway on an errors and omissions situation, because that could cause critical damage, down the line to infrastructure based off of errors made early in the planning and engineering portion.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, do I have a motion?
I make a motion that GEI consultants be approved to perform the water service GI survey for the price not to exceed $15,350.
Support.
With
excuse
the
me.
ability for Grant and Ray to go over items 8 and 10.
Support.
Is that what you want, Grant?
Support.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mrs. Brew,
Yes.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mr. Meneghetti,
Yes.
Mr. Marrero,
Yes.
Mr. Pop.
Move on to approval electric department purchase wire.
Hey, thank you, Madam Mayor. This is an item that came up in our budget hearing when we were talking about our projects, capital projects. With the situation dealing with the COVID and the manufacturers, it was brought to our attention that the warehouses were starting to become thin, especially on wire, spools of wire. And so it was recommended that we purchase some wire for the inventory and for our upcoming project and get that purchased soon. And so we have for you tonight a request to purchase electrical primary wiring from Irby for a total of $18,286.24. The initial purchase will be handled under transmission distribution in the budget, but when it's pulled from the inventory, it is going to get capitalized into the project that we're working on.
Any
Hey, Ray.
questions?
Yes.
I just noticed on there that if you look at the invoice, $1,216 of that is sales tax.
Yes.
That we won't have to pay sales tax on that, so it should just be the $17,070.
Yes, I put that in there just because I wasn't sure, because if it came from Wisconsin, I'm not sure. Do they honor our sales tax certificate?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yes, they usually do.
This is coming out of Minnesota.
So it would be the same question. Would Minnesota honor our sales tax certificate?
We haven't had trouble with that in the past. I mean, if you want to approve it not to exceed the higher amount, but I'm pretty sure that they'll honor our tax exempt.
We aren't going to pay. We get low marks from the auditor if we ever let that slip. So we're pretty good about making sure we don't pay that sales tax.
I'm pretty sure we never paid sales tax on it before. If you want to go with the high amount, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, I believe we have an aggressive program for our electric department, and there's no question about it. The work has to be done, and we do have the money there, but maybe we shouldn't be as aggressive in the times we are now, because of who knows what's going to happen. Just a thought.
When we talked about that, didn't we talk about 2 rolls?
I thought we mentioned 3.
Yeah, I thought it was 3 too.
Okay, I'm just checking. If there's no other comments, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that the purchase of electrical primary wiring from Irby be approved for a price not to exceed $18,286.24.
Support.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mr. Menegini,
Yes.
Mr. Ferraro,
Yes.
Mr. Pop,
Yes.
Mrs. Brew.
Yes. Road Improvement Project Engineering Amendment.
Okay, this last item is again something we reviewed in our budget hearing. And as we discussed, to move forward with 3 possible road projects this summer, we need to get moving forward on getting the bidding documents and some of that work complete and out the door. We currently are working with Coleman Engineering for the federal aid projects, and one of the jobs that we're doing, we're going to be switching the schedule on, and so they've done some basic work on it already. I asked them for a price or cost for putting a change order to that contract so that they can just go ahead and seamlessly work with us on getting this project move forward as quickly as possible. And they estimated that it would be up to $10,000. They would bill us only what they spend, but that does include some soil borings on Main Street north of Railroad Avenue. So
Norway Hill.
yeah, Norway Hill. I'm sorry.
Any questions? If not, I need a motion.
Just got a comment here. People want new roads, and definitely the hill area has been neglected for years, so now's the time to do it.
I motion that engineering proposals 2020-24 small urban road task force paving project amendments be approved.
Not to exceed.
I'm sorry, Kenny, not to exceed page 2, Ray, the
$10,000.
oh, 10,000. I'm sorry, $10,000.
Thank you.
Support.
Menegini,
Yes.
Mr. Ferraro,
Yes.
Mr. Pop,
Yes.
Mrs. Brew,
Yes.
Mr. Kramer.
Yes. Ray, will you tell the footage and what streets these are that are being engineered?
Sure. What we're going to do is we're going to repave the Main Street north of Railroad Avenue, and it's going to go all the way up to 15th Avenue. For that, that's a section of. Let's see if I have it written down here.
Yeah.
3,250 feet.
3,250 feet. Thank you very much. And that brings us up to 15th Avenue, where in the following year, we're going to be moving from that road to the east under the federal aid project.
Going down 16.
Yeah, down 16th. The second project is Summit Road from Swede Lane all the way up to Valley View. And the third is Perney Lane north of the cut line, which is roughly, it's just south of Werner Lane, going all the way up to Boundary Line Road. And that one, I believe, is roughly 6,000 feet, if I'm right.
Thank you, Ray.
6,200 feet.
Yeah.
And that's a crush and reshape, right?
Crush and reshape. It's going to be a crush and reshape job on a crush and shape on Perney Lane and on the Main Street, and then it's an overlay job on Summit Road.
Anyone wishing to address the council on any item of interest shall do so now by using the question and answer feature or raise your hand feature in Zoom. Telephone only attendees will be unmuted and given an opportunity to make their comments. State your name and address for the record. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per person.
I have 3 attendees, and I will allow them to talk at this time. They just need to unmute themselves to speak. I do not have any questions that were typed in the panel.
Okay. We'll move on to mayor and
Oh, hold on, I got a hand up from Brian Christensen.
Okay.
Brian, you can go ahead and talk. Brian has his hand up. I'm not sure if he can hear us. He is set to talk, but we can't hear him.
No, we can't hear you, Brian. Brian, if you can hear us, Brian, he can chat it to you. He can chat it to us, can he?
Yeah, he can type the question if he wants. Yeah, let's see. Brian, can you try talking again?
We just lost him.
I see him yet.
No, I can't. I still can't hear him.
I think we lost him. I'll contact Mr. Christensen tomorrow. So he's with the Daily News. So I'll contact him tomorrow. I'll find out what his question is and try to answer it.
And if we go on to comments and he comes back, I can also go back to him. If he can, we can hear him.
Okay, I'll respond back to him in the chat.
Okay. We'll move on to mayor and council comments. Scott?
All I have is Governor Whitmer opened up some things for the UP again this Friday. You know, we're getting one step closer to being fully open, which I know everyone's excited for. You know, it's supposed to be a nice weekend this weekend, a holiday weekend. Just still consider being safe and be considerate of other people out there around you. That's all I got.
Brett?
I have none, thank you.
Jeff?
None, thank you.
Lee?
Yeah, I got a few comments and questions there. I see where the Michigan Municipal League's latest issue of their magazine, The Review, they have a 2-page article on Crystal Falls. The article was pretty much a glowing report on legalized marijuana sales. In Crystal Falls, it was passed 370 to 308 for legalization. Population is only 1,469 people. They expect as many as 50 jobs, good paying jobs with benefits along with this will be created. Now, I don't know if they're, well, anyway, have we had any inquiries, Ray, about the medical or recreational facilities who want to come to Norway? I know recreational was voted down in Norway, but has anybody shown any interest whatsoever?
I actually received a phone call a couple weeks ago inquiring, and basically he was going to, call back or send information back. So I have not heard back from him. I talked for him quite a while, so it was a good talk.
Okay, I was just curious because I know Norway voted it down, and that's where I'm going. Okay, now how are we coming on our water systems with the gooseneck and the lead pipe issues that is mandated by the state? You all know how I feel about mandates. I'd like to mandate them.
Yeah. So we have a number percentage within a system that we feel are areas that we have to address. We've had quite a few projects over the last number of years. Remember back a couple of years ago, we just did all the road work, and actually there's quite a bit of work out in the street removing those goosenecks. So we've done quite a bit of work on it. Our water samples, one of the things that the testing will dictate the percentage that we're supposed to address. If you have some bad tests, you have to address about 7% of those remaining goosenecks. or estimated goosenecks. We have very good water tests, so our percentage is very low. And so working with Eagle, they're happy right now with our plan on how we're moving forward. It's not, we don't have, it sounds like you've read in the paper recently and you see across the state where some of the communities are having a very difficult and aggressive capital expenditure to go out and catch some of these goosenecks. And I think we're ahead of that curve by quite a bit. So we feel pretty good about it.
That surveying or whatever it was that you did a while back and went in and checked all the laterals and storm sewers and that should help us know as to where these goosenecks are.
That does. That helps us. That puts everything into that system that we have, that asset management system, and it helps us identify areas.
Okay. A couple more items here. I see where Iron Mountain has a big $1.7 million project that includes up to 42 of their estimated 1,800 lead goosenecks. Now they're going to have fun with that. Sewer's also involved in this project, so I don't really know what the actual cost of the water pipes and taking care of the goosenecks is. And I was also wondering, do you know, maybe not this one, but down the road, will there be any grants or real low cost loans available, possibly?
They won't commit to any water grants. Something that we've been on them about. If they're
because they mandated it.
They're mandating it, and they're in sewer. They've come out with some of the grant monies that have helped us move forward. But on the water side, we just don't see them moving right now. So we're hopeful in the next couple of years that maybe they will open that up. So.
Okay.
One of the this is going to be a philosophical answer, maybe a little soapbox here a little bit, but it's frustrating because it seems like the communities that do diligence and systematically do the right thing are the ones least eligible in the long run to get some of these grants. And if you just let your system go and are totally irresponsible, they seem to get the largest grants. And that it's almost like it's a program to support not doing what you're supposed to do. So I commend the councils in the past for addressing some of these issues, and it puts us in a good position now that we're not, they're not on us quite a bit because they have a lot of confidence in what we're doing.
All right. Okay. And I know it's probably in the budget, but Mary, this question's for you. I'd like the actual cost, kind of going back a little bit to what Mr. Moraro was talking about earlier, of all the IT help and anything else remoted to computers and internet. Can we get an actual cost of that, like for the month or for the whole year, preferably? Anything that has anything to do with a computer and all this support stuff. Can you handle that?
We should be able to put. Yeah, we should be able to put something together, Lee.
No rush, Mayor. No rush.
Okay.
And the last thing I have, we lost a long-time former city employee yesterday, Bobby Belanger. He was a full-time fireman for many years, and then he went to school when we went to a volunteer department. He went to school and he came back as a police officer. And Bob was a good man. Just wanted to mention that. That's all. Did everybody lose me?
Oh, you're good.
You're good.
There.
Where are we at on the pocket park? I mean, I can see where we're at, but what are we doing next?
Well, they're going to start. Constructing the hardscape. So,
Ray, what was the timeline that they gave you on that?
4 to 6 weeks.
Because I had spoke with one of them, and it didn't sound like it was going to be 4 to 6 weeks. He was talking like he was told he's got until October.
Well, in our contract, it says October, but in the actual what they put together was 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what.
when I spoke
But
to
the
him
contract
the
says
other night,
October?
he had said,
Right. I mean, we don't have, because we weren't getting bidders. So in the proposals that we were bidding documents we were putting out, we had to we started by having a window, and we had to open it up to try and get our contractors to to put in for us.
Okay.
Was in on that conversation, so was Jeff with the DDA, and he told us he'd get it done as quick as possible, and he did think 4 to 6 weeks.
Yep, he did say that, but if it's in a contract, he's got it to October, you know what that means.
Well, it was in the proposal. It was in our bidding documents. So, I mean, working with Jason, I don't think he's gonna drag his feet. You know, I think he'll do his. And I can.
No, he's very busy. He's good at what he does. He's got a lot of jobs going on.
Okay, my other thing is I was approached by a citizen on our roads. Can we put up 25-mile per hour signs?
Yeah, I imagine. I mean, that might be more of a legal question than anything else, because they're prima facie speed limits, but it all depends on where it is now. Because do you know where exactly they were asking?
Yeah, Curry Road.
Oh.
Wasn't there some kind of issues last year or something that the state had? Okay.
Yeah, Grant, you want to take that one, or you want to talk about it off the air?
I've looked into this, and I will pull up one of my memos and contact you, Madam Mayor, and then distribute the information to the council. Seems I've looked in this in the last couple of years ago and had some questions on some speed limit concerns. Be happy to share that with council. I don't want to misspeak, and I'll get the information specifically to you all.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Grant, when they called me, but I told them I wasn't quite sure either, because I thought we already ran into this before. So, all right.
It's ultimately not our decision on where we can put them and the enforceability of that. We'll leave it at that, but we don't get to make the decisions on some of the speed limit decisions.
Okay, just get back to me, Grant. Thank you. Then I would like to wish everybody a happy Memorial Day, and hope everybody stays safe and has a good holiday weekend. Grant, you have anything?
No, I don't. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Anderson?
No, just same, echoing about Memorial Weekend.
And we will not be having a parade, right? So people know.
A parade or the activities out at the cemetery, and it's a shame. It's a we want to honor our fallen heroes in the military, and this year we're unfortunately, sadly, we're not going to be able to. I've been trying to figure out a way of doing something, especially with our Channel 7. So we're going to try and figure something out to put up there, but yeah, this year it's going to be a lot different.
And then one other thing, Ray, and then you can go on too. I like to congratulate all the graduates in our community and all the other communities. I feel for them. It's probably not the same. You know, they can't walk across the stage and that. And, I just want to congratulate them. Okay.
One more thing, Ray. Is the 4th of July parade canceled?
It hasn't been officially canceled yet.
Hasn't been officially. Okay, that's what I thought.
Or the fireworks, but we're going to have to make a decision on the fireworks here really soon. And we're going to have to, we need to work with our neighboring communities. That was a conversation we had this morning. We all want to work in lockstep. We don't want anybody out one way or the other. So we're having that conversation. And
oh, don't worry, our governor will make the decision for us. Just give her a little bit more time.
You mean your governor, don't you?
No, not my governor.
I don't have anything else, Madam.
Did you have anything else, Ray?
No, I'm done.
All right, Mary or Trish have anything? If not, I need a motion. Okay. If not, I need a motion.
Support.
Mrs. Brew,
Yes.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mr. Menegini,
Yes.
Mr. Marraro,
Yes.
Mr. Fox.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned.
Take care, everybody.